Baseball Asterisk is proud to present the history of the Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays are an American professional baseball team based in St. Petersburg, Florida. They compete in Major League Baseball (MLB) as a member of the American League ALCS division. Since its inception, the team's home venue has been Tropicana Field. Following nearly 3 decades of unsuccessfully trying to gain an expansion franchise or enticing existing teams to relocate to the Tampa Bay Area, an ownership group led by Vince Naimoli was approved on March 9, 1995. The Tampa Bay Devil Rays began play in the 1998 Major League Baseball season. Their first decade of play, however, was marked by futility. They finished in last place in the AL East in all but the 2004 season, when they finished second to last. Following the 2007 season, Stuart Sternberg, who had purchased controlling interest in the team from Vince Naimoli 2 years earlier, changed the team's name from Devil Rays to Rays, now meant to primarily refer to a burst of sunshine rather than a manta ray, though a manta ray logo remains on the uniform sleeves. The 2008 season saw the Tampa Bay Rays post their first winning season, their first AL East championship, and their first pennant, defeating the rival Boston Red Sox in the ALCS, though they lost to the Philadelphia Phillies in that year's World Series. Since then, the Rays have played in the postseason in 2010, 2011, 2013, and 2019. The Tampa Bay Rays' chief rivals are the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. Regarding the former, there have been several notable on-field incidents. The Rays also have an interstate interleague rivalry with the National League's Miami Marlins, originally the Florida Marlins, whom they play in the Citrus Series. Former civic leader and St. Petersburg Times, now Tampa Bay Times, publisher Jack Lake first suggested St. Petersburg pursue a Major League Baseball team in the 1960s. The notable influences Lake held in the sport are what led to the serious discussions that changed St. Petersburg from a spring training location to a major league city. He spoke to anyone who would listen about his desire to see the city of St. Petersburg have a Major League Baseball team. His colorful direction dominated the mindset in both sports and business circles dating back to 1966. He was said to have the foresight and prominence to make it happen. Local leaders made many unsuccessful attempts to acquire a Major League Baseball team in the 1980s and 1990s. The Minnesota Twins, St. Louis Cardinals, Chicago White Sox, Texas Rangers, and Seattle Mariners all considered moving to either Tampa or St. Petersburg before deciding to remain in their current locations. The Florida Suncoast Dome, now named Tropicana Field, was built in St. Petersburg in 1990 with the purpose of luring a major league team. That same year, 2 separate groups, one in Tampa and another in Sarasota, were seeking to get an expansion team. The Tampa group even registered the name Florida Panthers after a local feline trademark that ended up being purchased by entrepreneur Wayne Huizenga 1 year later, and used by him to name an NHL ice hockey team. When Major League Baseball announced that it would add 2 expansion teams for the 1993 season, it was widely assumed that one of the teams would be placed in the Dome. However, in addition to the application from St. Petersburg, a competing group applied to field a team in Tampa, prompting much conflict over the bid. The 2 National League teams were awarded to Denver, Colorado Rockies, and Miami, Florida Marlins instead. In 1992, San Francisco Giants owner Bob Lurie agreed in principle to sell his team to a Tampa Bay-based group of investors led by Vince Naimoli, who would then move the team to St. Petersburg. However, at the 11th hour, MLB owners nixed the move under pressure from San Francisco officials, and the Giants were sold to a group that kept them in San Francisco. Finally, on March 9, 1995, new expansion franchises were awarded to Naimoli's Tampa Bay group and a group from Phoenix, the Arizona Diamondbacks. The new franchises were scheduled to begin play in 1998. Next for the Tampa Bay franchise was selecting a nickname. Naimoli wanted a name that would include Rays somewhere in it. The city and team agreed that the team should be called the Tampa Bay Stingrays. But there was a problem, as the Maui Stingrays already held the rights to the name and wanted $35,000 to buy the name. Instead, the team opted for a local variety of the Ray, the Devil Ray. The Tampa Bay Area finally had a team, but the stadium in St. Petersburg was already in need of an upgrade. In 1993, the stadium was renamed the Thunderdome and became the home of the Tampa Bay Lightning hockey team and the Tampa Bay Storm Arena Football League team. After the birth of the team, the naming rights were sold to Tropicana Products and $70 million was spent on renovations. The name Tampa Bay is often used to describe a geographic metropolitan area which encompasses the cities around the body of water known as Tampa Bay, including Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Bradenton, and Sarasota. Unlike in the case of Green Bay, Wisconsin, there is no municipality known as Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay, in the names of local professional sports franchises such as the Rays, Rowdies, Buccaneers, Lightning, and the former Storm and Mutiny, denotes that they represent the entire region, not just the city of Tampa. Tampa Bay's primary rivals are the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. The Red Sox/Rays rivalry dates back to the 2000 season, when Devil Ray Gerald Williams took exception to being hit by a pitch thrown by Boston pitcher Pedro Martinez and charged the mound, resulting in a game full of retaliations and ejections on both sides. There have been several other incidents between the teams during the ensuing years, including one in 2005 that resulted in two bench-clearing fights during the game and a war of words between then Devil Rays manager Lou Piniella and then Boston pitcher Curt Schilling through the media in the following days. The rivalry reached its highest level to date during the 2008 season, including a brawl during a June meeting in Fenway Park and a 7-game American League Championship Series between the teams that ended in the Rays' first ever pennant win. As a fellow member of the AL East Division, the Yankees and Rays play many times each season. There has always been some feeling of a rivalry between the teams because the Yankees make Tampa their spring training, as well as having a minor league team in the Tampa Tarpons. Home and fan loyalty in the Tampa Bay area has historically been divided, especially among transplants from the northeastern U.S. The rivalry became more heated in spring training of 2008, when a home plate collision between Rays outfielder Elliot Johnson and Yankees catcher Francisco Cervelli was followed the next day by Spike's high slide by Yankees outfielder Shelley Duncan into Rays second baseman Akinori Iwemura, prompting Rays outfielder Johnny Gomez to charge in from his position in right field and knock Duncan to the ground. The Rays have played at Tropicana Field since their inception in 1998. The facility, which was originally called the Florida Suncoast Dome, was built in the late 1980s to attract an MLB team through either relocation or expansion. After St. Petersburg was awarded an expansion franchise in 1995, the dome underwent extensive renovations and naming rights were sold to Tropicana Products, which was based in nearby Bradenton. Tropicana Field underwent further renovations in 2006 and 2007 after Stuart Sternberg gained controlling ownership of the team. Most of the changes sought to improve fans' game day experience. For the players, the biggest change was the installation of a new field turf surface in 2007, which was replaced in turn with a new version of AstroTurf for the 2011 season. The Rays' current ownership has long hinted that Tropicana Field does not generate enough revenue and that it is too far from the Tampa Bay area's population center. In 2007, the team announced a plan to build a covered ballpark at the current site of Lang Field on the St. Petersburg waterfront, and a local referendum was scheduled to decide on public financing. However, in the face of vocal opposition, the Rays withdrew the proposal in 2009 and stated they had abandoned all plans for a ballpark in downtown St. Petersburg waterfront, preferring a location near the center of Pinellas County or across the bay in Tampa. Since 2009, local officials, media, and business leaders have explored possibilities for a new stadium for the Rays somewhere in the Tampa Bay area. However, St. Petersburg Mayor Bill Foster has repeatedly insisted that the Rays honor their lease agreement with the city, which runs through 2027 and prohibits the team from entering into talks with other communities, resulting in a protracted stalemate. In October 2014, Sternberg, frustrated with efforts to build a new stadium in the Tampa Bay area, had discussions with Wall Street associates about moving the Rays to Montreal, which has been without a Major League Baseball franchise since the Montreal Expos moved to Washington, D.C., in 2005 to become the Washington Nationals. On December 9, 2014, reports surfaced that owner Stuart Sternberg will sell the team if a new stadium is not built. On February 9, 2018, the team said that Ybor City is their preferred site for a new stadium. However, at the December 2018 winter meetings in Las Vegas, Sternberg announced that plans for the proposed stadium in Eber fell through, meaning the Rays were still on track to play at Tropicana Field until 2027. Later in December 2018, the team sent a letter to St. Petersburg's mayor, Rick Chrisman, foregoing an extension to search for a new stadium outside of the city. On June 20, 2019, Major League Baseball's Executive Council gave the team permission to explore playing early season home games in the Tampa Bay area and later season home games in Montreal.